Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing well today, and welcome back to another Bleach Immortal Souls video. In this video, I'm going to be going over the new UR characters that we got yesterday, which is 4 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, yep, there's 4 of them that we will go over in this video, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on them. And I will post another video probably an hour or two from when I ever post this video of me going over the new SSR characters. The only character I have looked at so far is Okiora, and I actually read his skills on my video that I made about the update. But other than that, I have not gone over any other characters, so it's going to be really fun to go over them and see what they have to offer for this update. And there's 2 things I'd like to go over. Number 1 is going to be there's a new code right over here. If you just go into code section and put Grim 0731 redeem, there you go, you get 3 Grimjow shards, a decent gift box, and 30,000 gold. And there's one more topic I'd like to talk about super quick, and it's going to be because yesterday a lot of people I see like on Discord, or they were telling me or commenting saying that they don't like this update because they're gonna have to change their teams big time. Now that part is true, right? But you need to keep in mind that the company changed this game this way for the better, right? In my opinion, this change was for the better. It is true, it's kind of sad to see some characters you worked on really hard, you're probably not going to use them in your future team, but this update is good for the future, man. Like, it's good, it's a good change. And you're going to build up your new characters, and hopefully they don't change the meta in the future again, so it doesn't happen again. But right now, in my opinion, I think where they are at right now with the team formations and stuff, it's looking really good. I really like what they do with the new Soul Hall. So yes, it does suck that we're gonna have to get rid of some of our older characters, but keep in mind this change was for the better. People are always saying, can you guys please change this, change that, and then when they do change it, people like get upset. Like, come on, man, they're doing it for the better, and I'm okay with it, right? Like I said, this update in my opinion is for the better, and I hope that it stays this way because so far I am liking this update. But yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and jump right into the character reviews. Since I already went over Okiora yesterday, I'm just gonna go ahead and go over him really quick. Now, he's a Black Tortoise character, really nice. He is a skill, tank, defense ceiling, and strike back. Well, here are his stats right here. Let's look at his mastery skill. Deals damage to an enemy. Okiora deals extra damage based on 300% of his defense to the target. After casting the skill, his crit chances increase by 20% for 1 round. Skill damage is 160% plus 12. And then his rage skill right here deals damage to all enemies and steals the target's defense by 10%. If the target is alone on the field, steal the target's defense by 40% for 1 round. After casting the skill, rage skill damage increases by 60% and rage skill recovery rate increases by 30%. And it's 130%. So holy crap, straight off the bat, the rage and mastery skill kind of work on each other. The rage skill steals defense, and then when you do your mastery skill, you're gonna do more damage because you already stole a bunch of defense. And overall, his rage skill is absolutely amazing. It attacks all enemies, so you're going to be doing pretty good damage. And after you cast it, not only do you steal defense, but you also get a damage increase by 60%, which is absolutely massive, and a rage recovery rate by 30%, which is also massive because it's going to allow you to steal more defense and deal more damage over time. And even if you're doing PvE content, it's still going to work because if the target is alone, you're going to steal 40% of their defense instead of just 10%. So they made him work kind of for both PvP and PvE. He's obviously going to be way better in PvP, but it looks like that he will do just fine in PvE as well. So looking so good so far on mastery skill and rage skill. Now let's go ahead and go over his passive. At the beginning of battle, if there are any Ashur dragon characters allies on the field, the ally front row gains a shield equal to a percentage of Okiora's HP. If there are any white tiger allies on the field, when an enemy dies, all debuffs are removed from Okiora. If there are any vermilion bird allies on the field, Okiora effects reduction is increased. If there are any black tortoise allies on the field, Okiora's counter rate is increased, and here are the percentages. Now this is kind of like Lisa's, where he supports every single attribute, which I absolutely love. And the great part is, with this new Soul Hall update, you're most likely going to have every single attribute on your team. You're gonna probably have an Azure Dragon character, a Black Tortoise character, a White Tiger character, and a Vermilion Bird character all in one team. So it's gonna work out really, really nice, and that's absolutely amazing. So his passive skill is going to be working really, really good. But yeah, okiora, obviously, from what we just went over, is absolutely amazing. I don't know when they will be coming out. I honestly don't know when any of them will be coming out, but I think Nell will be first. The only reason I say Nell will be first, because if you guys watched my leaks video I made a couple days ago, she was leaked, like her summon banner was leaked, and I think that she might be first, but obviously it's not confirmed. And I do not know who is going to be first. But yeah, okiora, absolutely amazing. Would obviously recommend to summon for him if you're looking to build, you know, his Soul Hall, for example. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the waifu, Nell, bro. Nell, whatever you want to call her. I think Nell is just obviously way easier. But yeah, let's take a look at the waifu, man. She's a Vermilion Bird character, which is fine now. I absolutely love that they made Vermilion Bird characters, you know, more common now, because their skills don't suck anymore. Like, their Soul Hall skills do not suck anymore. So they're usable, man. They're usable now. They were somewhat usable back, but now they're 100% usable, and they're looking better than ever. But yeah, she's a Vermilion Bird character, attacker, back row killer, high damage, and control, with a whopping 459 attack, and I do believe that is the highest attack in the game so far. Yes, that is the highest base attack in the game so far. But yeah, and then her mastery skill right here deals damage to a single enemy and ignores 50% of the target's defense. Deals additional damage to the target equal to 30% of Nell's attack multiplied by the number of bleed stacks on the target. Nell restores HP equal to the damage dealt this way, and there's a 15% chance to stun the enemy. Dude, holy crap. And it's 160% by the way. All of these just from one mastery skill. That's absolutely amazing. So let's kind of slowly go over it one more time because it was long. So she attacks one enemy and she ignores 50% of their defense, and you deal additional damage to 30% of her attack. So if she has 10,000 attack, then you're going to basically do an extra 3,000, and you're going to times it by how many bleed stacks there is on the target. So if the target has like 2 bleed stacks, it's going to be 3,000 times 2, which is an extra 6,000 damage, and that's just an example. So she's going to be able to do really, really high damage with this mastery skill right here. And she also recovers HP and a 15% chance to stun the enemy, and that's just her mastery skill, dude. That's absolutely broken, honestly. Yeah, I probably can call this broken, because a mastery skill to do this much is absolutely insane. It's absolutely amazing, man. And then her rage skill right here deals damage to all enemies, plus an additional 120% in bonus damage to the primary target, adds bleeding to enemy targets for 2 rounds, and has a 40% chance to stun the primary target for 1 round. The bleed target effect added to the target. Okay, the bleed effect added to the target's damages them immediately when inflicted. If there is only one enemy on the battlefield, this attack deals 20% of Nell's current HP and damage. Okay, so once again, a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and go over it slowly one more time. So straight off the bat, she attacks all enemies, and she does, let's see here, additional 120% in bonus damage to the primary target. So the primary target is when you guys are in a fight, you can always click on what target you want to attack. If the front row is alive, you cannot select someone from the back row. So you can select pretty much anybody from the front row, and that's considered the primary target. So if you attack the middle person in the front row, they're gonna receive an additional 120% damage to them, which is pretty good. Because front rows usually tanks, and they need damage to obviously die. And it adds a bleeding effect to enemy targets for 2 rounds, so it adds bleeding guaranteed for every single enemy for 2 rounds, which is great obviously, because if we go back to her mastery skill, she can deal additional damage if they have bleed stacks on them. Alrighty, sorry guys, I kinda had to cut. I got an important phone call that I had to take. But yeah, so as I was saying, we were at the bleed stacks part. So her rage skill Does guarantee 2 rounds of bleed on the enemy targets, and like I said, her mastery skill allows you to deal more damage if they have more bleed stacks, so it's going to be very, very nice. And obviously that 40% chance to stun the main enemy is also extremely nice. So let's see, the bleed effect added to the targets, damage them immediately when inflicted, so as soon as she, uses her rage attack, she will instantly also hit them with her bleed damage, which is amazing. If there is only one enemy on the battlefield, this attack deals 20% of Nell's current HP in damage. Oof, this could be really, really high because usually, you can get a lot of HP easily. Most characters easily have like over 200k HP or like even 300. So 20% of 300k HP is actually quite a lot, and this is going to help you out in PvE as well as PvP. So really, really nice. And then after Weapon Awakens, the damage, chance to stun, and number of bleed stacks are all increased. But yo, she's looking really good, man. She's looking really good, and she does 130% damage, which is the normal for an AoE attack. Now let's go ahead and go over her passive right here. When battle begins, inflict bleed on all enemies for 2 rounds. After releasing a rage skill, the damage rate of all allies increases for 2 rounds, and the ally with the lowest... Wait, and the ally with the lowest ally? Huh? Come on, Osis. Come on, bro. Okay, and the ally with the lowest HP, I'm going to assume? Let's just start over. Okay, so when the battle begins, inflict bleed on all enemies for 2 rounds, which is stupidly good because obviously she does more damage if there's more bleed. The fact that she inflicts bleeds on all enemies as soon as the game starts, that's absolutely insane, man. That's actually absolutely insane. And then when she uses her rage skill right here, the damage rate of all allies is increased for 2 rounds. Yes sir, like this is absolutely broken. And the ally with the lowest HP, I'm going to assume, receives an additional damage bonus for 1 round. At the start of the battle, Nell's effect accuracy is permanently increased by 10% for each Vermilion Bird ally on the field to a maximum of 30%. Alright, and the damage rate increase for all allies is going to be 4.5%. Sorry guys, it's going to be 4.5%. And the damage reduction rate for the lowest, yep, it was HP ally, is going to be 12%. So yo, this is really good, dude. Her passive is also... Dude, wow, Nell is stupid good, man. She's stupidly good. Like, her mastery skill and passive skill offer so much, it's actually insane. But keep in mind, like, this could obviously be changed. As we saw in the second set of characters, a lot of their abilities were changed after a while. Hopefully they don't, because these new characters are looking absolutely broken so far. So yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, Nell I think is better than Okiora for sure. I mean, they are 2 different type of characters. She is a damage dealer, and he is a tank, so I don't think it's fair to compare them. But I feel like overall Nell will be a better character. Just, dude, her kit is looking absolutely amazing. Alright, we got 2 more characters. Damn, this video is going to be long. Thank you guys if you're sticking around and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Now we got siloporo. I believe I said it right. A Vermilion Bird, a tank, poison, and revive. Wow, really interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So it deals damage to a single enemy plus 18% of the health that the enemy has already... Wait, what? Deals damage to a single enemy plus 18% of the health that enemy has already lost in additional damage. Has a 20% chance to disorient the enemy. So I think what this is, so like if the enemy has already lost half of their HP, you're going to deal 18% of that 50% that they have already lost, I think. This is worded kind of weird, but I think that's what it is. And a 20% chance to disorient the target, which is pretty normal, nothing too crazy. And 160%. So honestly, mastery skill looking pretty basic. It is good, but it's nothing too crazy though. And then we got his rage attack right here. Deals damage to all enemies and poisons each target. Dispels 2 buffs on each enemy. Wait, that's it? Oh, that's it. Okay, so deals damage to all enemies and poisons each target. Dispels 2 buffs on each enemy, which is good, right? Okay, after Weapon Awakens, damage is greatly increased. The number of buff that can be dispelled is increased, and siloporo regenerates HP for each effect removed. Okay, so it looks like he's kind of going to be like Myri. If you get his awakened weapon, he's going to be really good. I don't know, man. So dispel basically, it just removes any 2 buffs from the enemy. That's all it means basically. I don't know. Siloporo is looking. I'm not gonna say he's okay. So look, he's not bad. He's decent for sure. Like right now, looking at his kills, he's decent. But he can be on. Okay, no, I take it back. I think he's good just because I feel like there's a lot of buffers. Like every time you get in a battle, buffs happen very easily actually. So I feel like you can him removing 2 buffs from each enemy is actually quite big, especially if you get his awakened weapon. But I don't know, I think my opinion right now on him, I'm just gonna say he's decent. I'm pretty sure he's going to be broken if used correctly, but I'd rather wait for him to come out and give out my full opinion on him, because I don't want people, you know, to start calling me out and shit. So I'm just gonna leave my opinion at he's decent right now, and I'm gonna wait for him to come out, because I feel like this right now doesn't seem too great, but I feel like if you use it right, it can actually be absolutely broken. So his passive skill, when siloporo dies, there is a chance to poison all enemies for 2 rounds. When an enemy dies, there is a chance for siloporo to be revived within 500 range and 60% of his max HP. Holy crap, 60% is a lot. Okay, and chance to revive is 50%. Okay, so you have to kill an enemy for him to get a chance to revive, and it's 50%, which is pretty high. His passive skill is looking pretty good. I think he's definitely going to be a really good character if you use him correctly. But yeah, let's go ahead and go over the final character right here, which is going to be Neutra. He's an Azure Dragon character, and he's a skill. Now, this is interesting. I don't know. I feel like he either would have been a tank or an attacker, but they made him a skill, which is really interesting because in the anime, all Neutra does is freaking go, you know, beast mode and absolutely destroy with his pure strength. So I do find it pretty weird that they gave him skill, but I mean, it's whatever. But yeah, he's an attacker, deathmatch, interesting. I'm not sure what that means, and high damage. So let's go over his mastery skill. Deals damage to an enemy. Each missing point of health grants damage bonuses. There isn't really any info on it. So it does 160%, but it doesn't say how much extra damage you do with each missing point of health. So I don't know, but I mean, this looks very basic. I don't know, I mean, this looks really bad, honestly, right now. So let's go ahead and go over his rage skill. Drains 8% of his max HP, deals damage to the front row enemies, inflicts 8% extra damage based on the target's max HP. If the target is unshielded, deals extra 40% damage at 160% 160% attack right here. So he takes away 8% of his own HP to inflict 8% more damage of the front row's maximum HP. And if they're unshielded, deal an extra 40% damage. Honestly, this is also not looking very good. I mean, it feels very situational. Let me know what you guys think of it. Because like I said, with siloporo, his skill looks decent, but I think if you actually use him correctly, he can be absolutely broken. But, I mean, I'm looking at Neutra right now. He seems very basic, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Let's go over his passive skill. Wow. The ally, wow. The ally front row's effect reduction is increased by 10%. The first time Neutra's health falls below 20%, he gains the deathmatch effect for 2 rounds. Okay, deathmatch. Immunes to disabling effects, cannot be killed by any damage that would be normally fatal, cannot restore health, and recovers 300 rage every round. Yo, that's actually crazy. Oh my god. Ally front row effect reduction increases by 3%, by the way. Wow, okay, maybe Neutra is good. I don't know. Okay, so if he falls below 20% HP, he gets the deathmatch ability, and he's immune to disabling effects. It cannot be killed by damage that would normally be fatal. What does that mean? So does that mean like if he just gets attacked, he wouldn't die? Like, does he have to die from poison or something? I think so, because if he's immune to disabling effects and he can't die from hits, then the only way for him to die is going to be through like maybe bleed or something. Bleed, poison. Cannot restore health as well, so yeah, and recovers 300 rage every round, which is absolutely insane, by the way. So yeah, I think how this is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think basically, the only way when he falls below 20% HP, the only way he can die is by either like, you know, poison, bleed, fire, that kind of damage, DOT damage, basically. So yeah, I actually, you know, I take back what I said about Inotra. He's not bad. He's looking actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, here are the new UR characters. This video is going to be extremely long. I would go into detail on, like, what teams you would put them on or not, but I think I'm going to leave it for another video because this video is already extremely long. But yeah, guys, anyways, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the new characters in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you get a notification for the video that I am going to upload in a couple of hours. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.